up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review for Legendary Season 1, Episode 9. So, we are back, you guys. I know I had to drop, I know I was late dropping those last episodes, but it's all good. We here, we back. So this is the Electric Jungle Ball. And, everything has like that whole jungle theme and all that good stuff. Tiffany Haddish is the guest judge. Now listen, this was a very interesting judging panel. Tiffany Haddish talked like she was very familiar with ballroom, that she was around in the 90s and she sort of has that 90s mentality when it comes to ballroom. She was a very, very harsh judge, even more harsh than Leomi. It was very interesting. It was a very interesting judging panel. Because there are only 3 houses left, there were actually 4 challenges tonight. So, well, on this episode, I'll say tonight, on this episode. And the first performance was the floor performance, the all-house performance, not the floor performance. And each of the houses had to have a bizarre effect. And the way the bizarre effect was explained was sort of like you have to do something that is just really, really out of the box, that's going to like bring that attention and focus in on what your element is, what your actual element is. The houses had to focus on one of the 4 elements of Vogue, and the Superior House, which was the House of Mugler, got to pick that element. Now they went first, and the element they chose for themselves was hair swing. Hair whips, that's it. I knew I was looking for a different word other than swing. Now, first of all, the judges came out, and I was here for, I think, my 2 favorite, and I don't think I've done this for most of the season, but anyway, my 2 favorite outfits was, I loved Meg's outfit, and I actually loved Leomi's outfit. But we didn't get to see the full effect of Leomi's outfit because the orange twine that was sort of going through her outfit actually glows in the dark. And we didn't get a good chance to really see that. I happened to see it on her Instagram, and I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, so the first house that went was the house of Miyake Mugler. And they sort of did like a playoff of Britney Spears' Slay For You. My girl Tati came out and did her whole Britney Spears with like the fake snake thing. And then of course they went into their routine. I think that the House of Mugler, for me, I think their bizarre moment was the most highlighted with this group. The father, he was the bizarre factor, and he was actually a tree. He was a tree that was a part of like the whole Amazon thing they had going on with the whole Slave For You situation. And they had this whole moment of the hair whip. Tati had this beautiful wig that was like this wild, abandoned, and they did the hair whip, and he had the hair whip, and he had like sort of like his branches were whipping back and forth. That was supposed to be sort of like almost look like dreads a little bit. I was here for it. I enjoyed the performance. I thought they did a really, really good job. I thought they did enough to, I wasn't sure because they went first, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough for them to be Superior House, but I definitely knew it was going to be enough for them to be one of the top houses. And they were. They got a 47. Next, we have the house of Balenciaga. They had spins and dips. My notes... My notes was that there were not enough spins and dips. And I didn't think that their bizarre moment, again, after what the father from the house, after what Mugler did with him being a whole tree and whipping his hair back and forth, I think for me that sort of set a standard, because I didn't know what the damn bizarre effect was, but that sort of set a standard of what I was looking for from the other performances that I just didn't get. It was a cute moment though. but it just didn't stand out, and I didn't feel like I got enough spins and dips. Like, I feel like we didn't get, I kind of felt like my girl Abby Reviews, when they had spins and dips at the beginning, and she was like, I wanted to be dizzy, and I felt like, this is what I'm waiting for, this is what I'm waiting for, this is what I'm waiting for, and they gave us a decent performance. I just didn't see the element. And even the bizarre moment, I couldn't tell who was supposed to be the bizarre effect. I mean, I could, but I couldn't. Does that make sense? Okay, all right. Y'all get what I'm saying, child. And to be honest with you, the judges actually agree with me. Listen, let me tell you something. I knew this was going to be a bad night when it came to scoring, because normally the guest judges have been very liberal with their judging. Bitch, Tiffany Haddish gave them a 6. Like, even the judges was like, now mind you, the highest score they got was an 8. I think Law gave them a 7. I want to say Naomi gave them a 7 or 8. Or did Meg. 2 of the judges gave them 7s. But bitch, when we took the breath, when she said 6, I said, I don't know who had a 6 all season. I think we might have had like 1 6 like in the first 2 weeks. I don't think we had nothing lower than a 7 in a minute. But baby, she gave them a 6, and she said it with a straight face, and she ain't flinched. Okay? But like I said, their scores overall were not great, and they ended up with a 32. Now the good news is there are 4 challenges this episode, so they had 3 other opportunities to get points so that they wouldn't necessarily be at the bottom. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like, for the exception of Tiffany, I really feel like Law and Naomi were still holding on to that honey stuff from last week. I just feel like they were. I just feel like this went on through the whole episode with Balenciaga. I just felt that way. But either way, baby, they got a 32. Next, we had the House of Garcon. They had floor performance. They had like a whole safari theme going. Tonka was sort of like the moderator. He did a whole costume change. Stasha had her moment, when she was doing her thing. But I wrote in my notes that the bizarre effect didn't do nothing for me. Didn't do anything for me. And I didn't see enough floor performance. And at first, the judges were giving them all these accolades and stuff, and I was like, well, shit, maybe I'm wrong. But then it got to Naomi, and I told y'all, I go by what Naomi say, because in my mind, Naomi is the judge to go by. I'm not saying that nobody else has an opinion, but listen, I go by what Naomi say. And Naomi said the same thing I said. Naomi was like, she wasn't blown away. She ain't see nothing different. They didn't elevate. And it was just all right to her. And that's how I felt. I felt like it was just all right for me. So they got a score of 42. Now, so we got first, second, third place. Mugler, Garcon, Balenciaga going into the challenges. So next we had the challenges. So the first challenge was, the second challenge, because the first challenge was the house performance. It was Old Way, New Way, Virgin Vogue. And so what you had to do was, you have the Old Way Vogue, which is very Willy Ninja, very, when you think of like the Madonna Vogue video, like that is what you're getting, And then you have New Way Vogue, which is a lot more fluid. If you watch Pose, it was more like what you would have seen. You saw this season what Cubby was doing, where he was very fluid. He was like that whole double jointed and the stretching and all that. That's New Way, right? And so what it is they had to pick 2 people from their house, one who's never walked Old Way and one who's never walked New Way, and they had to walk what they've never walked before, and then they had to tag each other in. So the first person would do Old Way, and then they would tag in the first person doing New Way, and both of them had to be virgins. Neither one of them could have walked that before. So first we had the first duo that came out was the House of Garcon. Now, I thought the House of Garcon did good. I really did. No. Hold on. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. I kind of understood what Tiffany was saying about the House of Garcon. I am no expert by any stretch of the imagination. And Naomi gave him a 10. She ain't chop him. But I kind of saw what, at least I felt like I saw what she was saying. I felt like the person who was doing New Way, it looked very old way to me. Now I'm far from an expert. But I understood the chop. Now the Balenciaga, I didn't understand. Because Honey, I felt like was doing the damn thing. And I felt like they were doing a good job. Honestly, I really, really do. But again, I told y'all, I really felt like they were carrying this Honey situation all the way through. That's my opinion. I really do. And Meg ended up chopping Balenciaga. Mugler came through. Listen, it didn't matter who got chopped and who didn't get chopped because Mugler kicked their ass. The person who did New Way for them, I mean, I think that person was actually double jointed. And he was all over the place. And he was giving it up. I mean, it was there. It was there. It was there. Okay. So they got the +10. Mugler got it. They got the +10. Now, after that, there was this whole argument amongst the judges because they came for Tiffany. They was like, I didn't understand that chop. And what was funny with Tiffany, or what I could appreciate with Tiffany was she was like, oh, you didn't? Oh, well. She said, listen, I was around in the 90s. I know what old way looked like. I know what old way is. I know what it is. And that wasn't it. And so I chopped it because I ain't see what I needed to see. So then Laura was going to say, well, Laomi, what did you think? Laomi, what did you think? And here's where I can respect Laomi. Laomi stood up. Laomi said, that's it. We ain't sitting here a bunch of arguing. That is ballroom. It is over. Next category. Like it is what it is. Like, it's over now. It don't matter. She saw what she saw. She ain't like what she saw. And that is what, like, in like the way they do the scoring in the ballroom now, where it's either a 10 or a chop. It ain't no whole lot of competition. And you know, Mother Spiller Boy, you know, who walked the ballroom, who was in the ballroom scene, he said, you know, sometimes the judge can chop you because they don't like you. Sometimes the judge can chop you because they used to date your boyfriend. Like, it really is what it is. And so it ain't no whole lot of discussion and argument. Like, I don't like you. Chop. Next. So, I don't know, honey, but they was not feeling that. But she stood her ground. Now, the next one was arm control. And we had... they had to sit in the colored chairs, and they went one at a time, and it was either a chop or a 10 or a chop, and then of course they battled off together, did it like a battle off. So we went down from the line. We had Balenciaga first, then Garcon, then Mugler. Now we got to Mugler, and they chopped Mugler, and I believe it was Meg that chopped Mugler. Now I thought he did good, but again, it didn't matter because when it got down to the battle, the person for the House of Balenciaga was, and it was like, and they was pulling tricks all off. It didn't matter. So Balenciaga gets that 10 points. So if you're keeping up, Mugler now has 57 points. Balenciaga now has 42 points. And so we're down to the last category. Now, here's the reality. They would have had to beat Balenciaga at that point. And really nobody could. Like, it had to beat Mugler. Because even if Balenciaga got the other 10 points, that would have just put them at 52. Mugler was already at 57. So nobody could really catch Balenciaga at that point. But, it is what it is. So the last category was sex appeal, where somebody from the house had to walk. And these all had to be different people. So you had to be very strategic in who you chose to do what category. Because you couldn't overlap. So somebody had to walk sex appeal. And then for the battle off, somebody else from the house had to come and do a twerk off, right? I was like, okay, a twerk off. That's interesting. But okay. We twerking off. Anyway, so of course, Diego walked for the house of Mugler, which they was loving Diego. When I say all of them from Law all the way down the line was drooling over Diego. Okay, earlier, and y'all know last week and all of that. So Diego walked for the house of no, I got that wrong. Diego walked for the house of Balenciaga. Diego walked for the house of Balenciaga. Yeah. Mother Stasha walked for the house of Garcon. No, I'm right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. It was Diego that walked for Mugler. It was Diego. I'm sorry. Diego, Stasha, and I forgot who walked for Balenciaga. They got chop, so it don't matter. Diego, honey, was given, and it was Tiffany that chopped the guy from Balenciaga. She wasn't feeling him. Okay. Mother Stasha came through and was giving sex, and baby, she was she was giving sex. It was beautiful, okay? It was everything. It was beautiful, okay? Then Diego, I mean, he just sexy as hell. He just sexy. Diego just sexy, okay? So it came down to Garcon and Mugler, and they had to have a twerk off. So Tati, y'all know how I love my Tati. Tati had to do the twerk off for Mugler, and Tonka did the twerk off for Garcon. Listen, Tati came out, she did a cartwheel, then she went into a handstand, and she twerked on her damn head. Let me say that again. She did a cartwheel, then she went into a handstand, and then she twerked on her damn head. Listen, Tonka, it didn't matter what you did after that. She was twerking on her head. With that being said, honey, Mugler gets the 10 points. They're now up to 67 points. And yeah, like I said, nobody could beat them before, so they damn sure couldn't beat them this time. It came down to Garcon and Balenciaga. Balenciaga with the battle of course, Mugler has the superior house going into the finale on the next episode. I will say next week, but they dropped both episodes last night, so the next episode. And listen, Honey and the one that battled last week, they battled off. Listen, let me be honest with you, and again, Laomi agrees with me. Or I guess I agree with Laomi. The battle ain't give me nothing. Like, y'all remember those battles from last season? People were literally climbing walls. Y'all remember that? People were literally climbing walls in stilettos and doing backflips into dips. Y'all remember that? I'm not exaggerating. If you don't believe me, go back to season 1 of Legendary. Okay, if you didn't watch season 1 of Legendary, go back to season 1 of Legendary and go look at some of them damn battles. I expected that from Honey because that is what Honey has been. And Honey is an assassin. Let's be clear. We saw Honey last season come on and kill him. Honey has the ability. I don't know whether Honey, because when Honey got chopped in that Vogue, they showed Honey in the back crying or very upset. It looked like tears, but maybe it was just very, very upset. But I think Honey's heart just wasn't in it. I don't know. But I mean, Honey still outdanced or outvogued the House of Garcon, but I don't know. I just wasn't impressed. And none of the judges felt like that. None of the judges felt like that was a worthy battle. None of them did. But again, Honey is the superior performer. So the House The house of Balenciaga stays. The house of Garcon goes home. And then there was another little tidbit at the end where Mother Stasha was speaking, and she said, listen, I'm just proud of my people. Nobody expected that of us. Nobody expected anything more of us. And so I'm glad we stayed as long as we did. And then Mother Shannon went to go speak and congratulate them and everything. And Stasha says, listen, I appreciate that, but me and you have a history. And my feelings was hurt when things started changing around here, and you would walk past me and wouldn't even speak. And Shannon apologized. Mother Shannon apologized and said, listen, my apologies, and then they hugged or whatever. But I was like, well, damn, we had all this going on backstage. And we just finding out the last 3 weeks. Or the last 3 episodes, I should say, because it won't last 3 weeks, because the last 2 episodes had drama. Then we had a little bit of this. I said, y'all was holding out on us, but I'm serious. That battle last night, it was tired. It was tired. Anyway, that's the episode. So for the finale, which is the next episode, we have the House of Balenciaga versus the House of Mugler. I've been trying to avoid everything because I've seen people going live and all this stuff happening today. I've been doing my best to avoid it, so I don't know who won and what had happened. So I'm going to try to get to that episode tonight. But I'll let y'all know. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.